Well, good morning again. After that brief interlude, I'm sure you missed me. So fatherhood is such a broad subject. It's such a difficult subject to really bring together into a short speech. So I'm mainly just focusing on what I've experienced so far. And so I would say first thing I've learned as a father is that just like the podium, children should not be left unattended. That is something I had to learn. That's where you come up with, how does a 2-year-old find a permanent marker that usually would be in my pocket, pull it, and go nuts with it on the couch. I don't know where he found it. I don't know how he figured out which end was the right end, but he figured it out, and our couch has been permanently effaced by a child in graffiti. The thing that really surprises me is that you have so many books called, like What to Expect When You're Expecting. It's full of graphic pictures, disgusting descriptions, and just stuff that I never really thought was that valid. But they don't make one for dads that I ever saw, because while my wife's belly's getting bigger and she's dealing with eating issues and whatever, I feel great. Most of the time I forget we're expecting it all. So it's just I work all day, I come home, and then she gets up and, can you rub my back? And you're like, I just got home. I need someone to rub my back. It's just, I think there could be a little more coverage on what a father should expect and what you should do to mentally prepare. Because it wasn't until we're in the hospital, everything's going, it's moving forward, and still, she's pushing and whatever, and I'm standing there, but it's still just not really there yet. It wasn't until the midwife takes me over and she says, you're going to catch your child, you're going to pull your son out. And so I'm standing there, and she's got me all garbed up, pretty cleaned up and some stuff on, and she didn't give me any kind of special gloves, which I was surprised, because like in football, they have those special gloves to like help them catch the slippery balls. I never played sports, so I'm already nervous. I drop balls all the time, and I'm catching a kid, a little baby, and I've never really held that new of a baby before. And I'm here, and I kind of see, and I'm watching, and it's coming out, and then I see, and it's like an old Japanese man. He looks like had the Japanese face, and he was the color of a fish belly, like the real pale, just kind of, I was like, so I grab him, and I'm like, how do you hold on to a slippery little kid? And he's like doing the gangle thing, like the octopus, because he's like, I'm falling. That was the first time it really just straight up hit me. A person just came out of another person. That is a startling image that I will never forget. And I started blubbering because I don't know why. I never thought about it, but it just was like, tears. And I'm putting him on my wife, and they give us towels to clean him off. And the nurses are just like, they're trained pros. So they've got the thing, and they're like, it's like polishing a car. And I've got the thing, and she's like, clean him up. And I'm just like dabbing at him a little bit, it's a baby. That's just the whole night is stuck in my mind. We have a second son. I really don't remember much of his birth, unfortunately. It was just kind of the same, but it didn't have that same impact. And I'm kind of disappointed. I wish I could remember it better, but my wife's not into videotaping, so we did not videotape anything, thankfully, for you all. Otherwise, I might have had something to share. What really came, I think, that was a huge moment for me. But it was afterbirth surprises that I think were really the major long-term lasting things that caused me to remember, wow, there is so much about fatherhood that I did not expect. Just the physical activity, I think I've been able to stay relatively fit by having children, because there's just so much always moving, And it's like that first 6 months, you're just kind of doing the all the time, patting the butt, just, you know, that's the only way my kid would go to sleep. Only way. I mean, we'd go to church, and I could rest him in my arms like that and just bounce for hours. And like, that's an awesome blast of the core, just bouncing like that. Nobody seems to really understand. I don't know. It's just everybody, oh, you're a great father. He's not screaming. That's all there is to it. You know? There's nothing, I don't want to do it. It's just, you want him to scream or you want him to be quiet. You do this. But in the long run, all that stuff is kind of dwindling now. Our first child is almost 4. He'll be 4 years old next month. Our second son is going to be 2. I don't have so much of those kind of requirements. Now I find it's the challenge on my patience, a lot of my patience. When you get home and your wife's fried because they've screamed all day and they're fighting in with each other and then they're playing and they're laughing and crying and it's all intermingled. You can't really tell what's going on. And she's like, I'm done. They're yours for a while. And she walks away and she's like, I'll make dinner in a little bit. And that's like last night. They just mobbed me. And I'm trying to, you know, negotiate. One of them keeps climbing up on the counter. The other one keeps throwing dirt in his eyes from outside. It's like, you have to breathe and remember, in everything I'm doing, I think the biggest point for me to remember is even when I get angry, they need to be sure that I love them. And that's where I think the biggest point of fatherhood has come to for me, is always affirming love, even in discipline, even in impatience, in anger, whatever. As long as I'm first thinking, do they know that I love them? Then I can scream at them. That's what fatherhood is about to me.